Hi guys. I got a request about 2 months ago on my, I guess it was longer than that. A guy named John White requested that I do a match lighting video, and so I'm gonna go ahead and do that and just talk to you about myself. Ever since the Dr. Roleplay went up, I got a ton more subscribers, so I thought maybe you guys would want to know a thing or two about me. And while you're watching me do some match lighting, you can think about what kind of requests you might want as far as role plays go, or any future videos. So this will be my first ASMR request fulfilling video, and I have matches. Okay, and I have beer. You guys can join me if you want. So I was born on the East Coast. Near the shore. I've always loved living near the ocean, and I'm not such a big fan of swimming anymore, but I used to be when I was a little girl. Look at that. These are waterproof matches. And I have a younger brother who shares his love of pyrotechnics with me. Oh, these are not very good. We used to build little fires in our backyard, much to my parents' dismay. And he's younger than me, and I guess we still kind of play with fire sometimes. Wow, those really go up like flares, don't they? Anyway, I am 26 years old. I graduated with an English degree from a university I'm not going to tell you. I work for the government. Actually, I work for the state government. And gosh, it's hard to think of things to talk about yourself. I have 2 parents, still married. They just celebrated their 29th wedding anniversary. They had me when they were much older. My mother was 30 and my father was 40, and they are 10 years apart. It won't really let you burn it down to the finger like that. And they had my brother about 18 months after me. I'm married. I was married in 2009, so it will have been 4 years this November. I don't have any children. I have a pug. I would show you guys videos of him, but he's kind of loud. Just his breathing is kind of loud, so. But he's very cute. And today is actually his 4th birthday. He was born on September 9th, 2009. We got him right after we got married because my husband, we were both working in retail at the time, and my husband was working late night shifts waiting tables. And he didn't want me to be lonely. So we got a puppy. And I wasn't lonely. That dog takes up most of my day if I'm home. He's very affectionate. And he's been difficult. Pugs can be very difficult. They're not very obedient. Is that the word I'm looking for? They're hard to train. He just kind of does what he wants. His name is Oscar. It seemed appropriate, I guess, because he's got a very ugly mug on him. Anyway, I got my job working for the state. We were in a lot of trouble, actually. I had just been laid off from my job because they decided to close the store that I worked at, and thought that we all only needed about 2 weeks' notice. So, I was freaking out, and my mother-in-law actually works for this company, for the state rather, and she said that they had an opening, and I went and applied alongside of a lot of other women, maybe in their 40s or 50s, and I ended up getting the job. And my boss swears it's because I was most qualified. Not because my mother-in-law had anything to do with it. I don't know. It doesn't matter because it's a secure job. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to do with my life, but who's really doing what they really want? I am an avid writer. I love to write short stories. I'm not a big fan of poetry. If you look back in my videos, I do a show and tell of some of my favorite books. many wonderful friends in my life. Unfortunately, most of them don't live near me. I'm still on the East Coast, but not where I grew up. I actually have 2 weddings coming up. Two of my very close friends are getting married in the next 3 months. I have one at the end of this month back in my hometown. And then I have one in November. My old college roommate, and I'm going to be a bridesmaid in that one. Kind of a funny story. I met my husband in college when I was a freshman. I didn't start dating him then, but I met him because he actually started dating my roommate, and they just didn't hit it off, and we kind of became friends and just kind of kept in touch. We started dating sophomore year, and my roommate was fine with it. These things really blow up, don't they? This is weird. I hope you all had a really good summer. I had a fantastic summer. Unfortunately, it's coming to an end. I'm not a big fan of the cold weather. I spent a lot of time at the beach this summer. I love the beach. If I could live at the beach, I would. Beach bum through and through. What does it mean when it says waterproof matches? Does that mean they can get wet and they'll still light? Or does it mean if it gets wet while it's lit, it'll keep going? I feel like the latter is probably a more practical reason. Because if you're trying to like light a fire in the rain, why would you let your matches get wet in the first place is beyond me. It's like camping 101. I do love to camp. I hate bugs. So I'm always like decked out in bug spray whenever I'm out in the wilderness because I don't do bugs at all. And the mosquitoes really like me. There's like saccharin in my blood or something. I don't know. But they eat me alive. Look at that. Can you see that? The whole match head is like, it like exploded. It's freaky. Okay, look, I'm gonna dip it in the water. It's gonna be wet. I'm gonna see if it lights. Or maybe I should test that out on one don't know how true all of that waterproofness is. I played a couple sports growing up. I was not very good at many of them, but I wasn't very good at sports that involved hand-eye coordination. But I was good at endurance kind of sports. I ran cross country and track when I was in high school. I used to ride horses when I was a little girl for about 10 years. Just went cross-eyed. I was really good at it too. I used to show and I did a little bit of Western style riding. Never had my own horse. I used to pay for lessons, and I did that by working for this barn that boarded horses and taught horseback riding lessons. So I would work there all the time, and they would give me free riding lessons, and then I would show for them sometimes and take care of the horses. And all my guy friends are like, what is it with girls and horses, like at a young age? And I don't know what it is. They're just really cool. And they're very, like, intuitive kind of animals. You can really have a friendship with a horse. Like, they understand. Like, they can read your face and read your body language. And I just think it's very cool. Let's get another one wet. I wonder if I let one soak in it. I'm gonna let one soak in there for a little bit. And just get this one wet again. See if this one bites. It doesn't seem to want to. Oh, there it goes. That's a good crackling sound. My hair is always in my face, in case you haven't noticed. I've always kind of had long hair. When I was in 5th grade, my hair was down to my butt. Look at that one. I did have short hair when I was in high school. I cut it way short. It was like the Meg Ryan bob, you know, like when, you know, like how Meg Ryan made it kind of popular in like the early 2000s. I didn't look very good with it. second ones to start as well. Let's see. When I was a child, I was very religious. I grew up in kind of a non-denominational Christian household and church. I'm no longer religious, but I have nothing against people who are. I knew a lot of really great people in my church, and I also met a lot of really not so great people in my church. So I think religion has the potential to be, or to make people good or bad. It's just not my thing anymore. I used to be on the worship team. Did a lot of singing growing up. I was in the choir. I did all the musicals. I was very active. In the youth group, we would go to different countries and help less fortunate people, and it was always really fun, and I don't regret doing that. So my parents were very, and still are very, moderate as far as that goes, though. They were never like die-hard Christians. My father was the one who taught me how to use curse words, so I think at most the only prayer that was said in my house was right before dinner, and it was the same prayer every day. Let's try the one that's been soaking in the water. That didn't last very long, did it? But it's still lit. My family used to have those massive boxes of matchsticks, like hundreds of them, and my brother and I would build little matchstick houses and then set them on fire. We really, I don't know how we got away with playing with fire as much as we did. I guess my parents just thought, oh, they're okay. We almost set the whole house up one time. We were making a little bonfire out of dry leaves on the stoop right next to the back of our house, and the wind was blowing pretty hard that day, and whoa, some of the leaves blew under our deck where we couldn't get to them, and kind of set up a little bit of the underside of our porch, but we got it put out. before my parents found out. I still don't think they know about it. Oh gosh. I keep breaking these things. I don't know my own strength. I had a lot of gentleman friends growing up. It's not that situation where it's like I can't get along with women. Even growing up, I always got on better with guys. And I think that's because I have a lot of men in my family as opposed to women. I only have one girl cousin, and I have 8 guy cousins, and my brother, so. I was very tomboyish growing up. I went through a phase where I wore nothing but pants for like years. And then I think I went through a phase where I wore nothing but dresses for a year. That was weird. My brother is not married. He just turned 25. He just turned 25 in July. Still waiting for him to find a girlfriend, actually. Both of my grandmothers are still living. I have no grandfathers. One died 2 years ago, I think. And I never met the other one. He died when my mother was in college. So. He was a cool cat, though. He drank a lot and smoked a lot, fished a lot. Sounds very cool to me. He was a badass, apparently. He was in the Navy. Getting high off of these fumes. We may as well finish these off, I guess. I'll put a few in the water. Keep testing my theory. I had a lot of pets growing up. Not the normal kind, though. I did have 2 cats, and they were really fat and lazy and sweet, and they were wonderful. Actually, the oldest one, the oldest one died when I was 12 or 13. We had to put him down because he had some kind of kidney infection or something. It's very sad. And I'd had him since I was 6. And when we got him, we bought a sister along with him at the same time. And she actually lived until I was 22. I actually found out she was going downhill when I got back from my honeymoon. It was very sad. But she lived a very long life. She was my favorite. I never had a dog growing up. My dad loved dogs, but I think he just didn't want all the responsibility that came with it. And my brother and I loved, like, weird creatures. We would find box turtles in the backyard and keep them. I probably accidentally killed like 2 or 3 baby birds in my childhood because I would find them hopping around by themselves and I thought that they needed to be cared for. So I kept them in my dad's shed and I would feed them worms. It lasted a good while, but they usually died, I guess. I don't know why my parents let me do that, but oh my god. I had a really traumatizing moment when I was about 6 years old. And my girl cousin, talking about not trusting the ladies, convinced me. We found a nest of baby bunnies in my backyard. And she convinced me that they knew how to swim. And she said we should put some in the kiddie pool and see how they swim. And so we did. And we only put one in, and he fought like crazy, but he just went stiff in the water. And I remember just losing my mind. Like, I grabbed a towel and I was like trying to dry it off. But he was so stiff. He was gone. Like, he just drowned. I cried for like an hour just holding this like dead baby bunny in my backyard. And my dad came out, and my dad's not a very loving person, but he sat there and held me while I just cried. And he helped me bury it. And I think that's why I have such a heart for little animals, like helpless animals now. Because I feel like I keep trying to make it up to that baby bunny. That gets me like really upset thinking about that. Anyway, though, my brother and I would just find animals in the backyard and bring them home. Our personal favorites were like snakes, turtles, reptiles. We had some pet mice at one point. He had a snake and a lizard, my little brother did at one point. A green tree snake. And a green lizard. Animals just fascinated me. When I was little, I just liked them a lot. Oh, this is a wet one, and it just doesn't want to light. Oh, there we go. another thing involving a rabbit that kind of ruined me when I was a little girl was, I don't know if you've ever read the story of the Velveteen Rabbit. Don't, if you haven't read it. It's about a little boy who has a pet rabbit. It's stuffed, it's a toy. And he gets polio. This is set back in the 20s or 30s. And so he has to burn all of his sheets and toys and everything. And this Velveteen Rabbit, the story's told from the point of view of the Velveteen Rabbit, like it's alive. And he loves the little boy so much, and he doesn't want to be burned. And he just wants to take care of him. Fuck. I don't know how can you write children's stories like that? That's like Toy Story depressing on a whole other level. I'm surprised my smoke alarm hasn't gone off yet. Now I wonder if it's working. Anyway, Oscar is my first dog. And they aren't kidding when they say dogs are difficult. They're a lot of responsibility. But they are great pets. I've never had an animal love me so much. I don't think a person loves me as much as that dog does. So I'm getting down to the wire. I've only got 2 matches left. And I hope you guys have been thinking about what kind of videos you want to see from me. Just go ahead and put any requests you have in the comment section. And I will be happy to indulge you to the best of my ability. More extensive role plays that involve props will take a little longer. But I'm also looking for short little video requests, ones that I can do in between my role plays. Things like this. Crinkling bags. Alright, you guys. That is that. I hope you guys learned a little bit about me. And I hope this was relaxing for you. If you'd rather me do more videos with sounds like this without me talking, just tell me, and I will do more of those. I'm thinking for my next roleplay, I'll be doing a student advisor meeting involving books and writing things down and typing. So, if you guys don't like that idea and you'd rather me do something more along the line of a doctor or a dentist, just let me know. And hopefully, might do another little video like this in between, but hopefully my next video will be a new roleplay. And I'm leaving that up to you guys. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.